Dark Brotherhood.
Sweet mother, send your child.
I've little time for talk.
You look rather well equipped. Your weapons, of course. Don't want to get booted from an establishment for using the wrong words again. Are you here about my notice? If that's the case, you're the first suitable candidate to approach me. I do hope your curiosity turns into acquiescence. For the job, of course. I never mean to imply anything else. I need to stop a murderer. Now, before you say, a murderer, just point me in the right direction, I have to admit, it's not that simple. Yes, let me explain. This killer announces his intentions long before he strikes, putting the fear of Mer and men in his victims. You'd think with a warning they could avoid their fate, but alas, no, all dead. In the most heinous manner imaginable, a message in an innocent sweet roll. Now he's targeted my associates. This scroll lists everyone who's recently received the threatening pastry. Talk to them and learn their connection before the killer strikes. Discover the link that connects these individuals and you'll find their murderer, hopefully while they're still alive. Do this for me, and I promise you'll like the reward I'm offering. Gold isn't the only favor I'm willing to provide. I'm a respected member of the Gold Coast Trading Company. When I heard that a number of my most trusted associates, as well as other individuals in the area, received one of these tainted sweet rolls, I knew I had to do something. Word gets around. There have been rumors of this sweet roll killer for quite some time. But when one of my associates wound up dead after receiving a delicious baked good, I started making the connection. Not in the least. They really are delicious. No, what makes them so insidious are the tiny notes they contain, a veiled threat and a prediction of impending doom. It's ruining our profits, my tasty friend, and that's something I can't abide. Oh, it's been nothing but a parade of beggars and unworthy miscreants, I assure you. If the lot of those ugly Ogrim lovers were on that list, I guarantee I wouldn't be offering this reward. You, on the other hand, seem to be perfect for the job. Deputized thugs and warrior priests, no thank you. I already have more than enough hands in my gold pouch, what with the demands of business and all. Besides, I'd rather keep this between you and me. It's so much more intimate, don't you agree? My sincerest apologies. I didn't mean to offend you. I guess some people wouldn't be satisfied with all the golden anvil or my huge... Nothing. Duly noted. I promise never to make such implications again. Is there anything else you want to ask about before you start hunting the murderer?
Are you talking to me? Why in the world would you ask me about that? I'm just a beggar, you know, I beg. Spare some gold? Look, you better not try anything. There are guards everywhere. What did I do wrong? People are supposed to ignore beggars. Just walk on by like they don't exist. But not you. Oh, you want to help. Will you just go away and leave me alone? I don't want any trouble. But if you must know, yes, I received one of those terrible predictions. Are you happy now? Because... Oh, never mind. I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. Look, you stay here and look for another beggar to bother. I'm going someplace else. Now leave me alone, or you're going to regret it. Don't you dare follow me! I've got some apples and I know how to use them! sweet roll killer, Commander! Help!
Much to do, so little
I
time.
don't think this is what Raz meant when he said, be discreet. Raz is thinking this spy business might not work out for the Lady Elf. At the first sign of trouble, she lights herself on fire, screams at the top of her lungs, and runs in circles. Raz does not remember that technique in the handbook. The work of the Queen's eyes, that's what's going on here. That business with Captain Apinia wrapped up so quickly, Raz decided to look into another matter before heading home. Turns out, this other matter has eluded Raz for many years. The locals call him the Sweet Roll Killer, yes? Much better than our term. The one who predicts your death and then stabs you in the face. Raz sees that you're looking into this as well. Perhaps we can exchange notes, help each other out. The Rat Master has ears everywhere. And who knows who our stabby-faced killer is? Don't want to give away our plans before we formulate them, yes? Raz suggests we go somewhere more private, once you finish your investigation. Raz and Lady Elf will meet you in our safe house after you finish your tasks. We've commandeered the Enchanter's shop. Not the most luxurious hiding place, but this one has had worse. We're going to have a glorious adventure, just like old times.
I love wandering the merchant stalls, examining all the goods that we helped bring to the Gold Coast. I get a certain amount of pleasure from experiencing the result of all my paperwork and negotiations. How did you know about that? I didn't tell anyone. Of course, it was delivered to the trading company building, so I suppose someone could have seen it arrive. Yes, I received a sweet roll. Came in a small box. At first, I thought nothing of it. I took a bite and found a slip of paper inside, with a message. But it didn't sound very threatening. Not until you mentioned it. Tomorrow is your last day in Kvatch. I just assumed I'd be going to Anvil in a few days, for business. What? You really think so? I've heard of the Sweet Roll Killer, sure, but why would he target me? I think I'd better just keep doing what I've been doing. Remain in the market, near all the merchants and their customers. That's safe, right? Raymond? I'd rather not discuss my relationship with Raymond if you don't mind. He's everything I abhor about a certain class of trader. Greedy, self-indulgent, and interested in nothing more than increasing his hoard of gold. But there was that wood elf merchant we worked with. I found him floating in a river not far from here. He got a sweet roll with a message. Kept to his daily routine despite the warning. Then, one day, he never showed up at the trading company. You were? Well, that makes me feel so much better. If anyone can stop the Sweet Roll Killer, I imagine it will be someone just like you. I'm going to finish my tour of the merchant stalls, unless you think that's unwise. I knew this day was going too well. Now I'm being threatened by a tasty dessert and an insane murder. I'll go and hide inside the Gold Coast Trading Company. It's sturdy as a fortress, and there are always people around. I'll be safe there.
Just perhaps with a little less zeal, until some of this blows over.
Oh, hello. Careful where you step. I just planted some seeds, and I'd hate to have to start all over again. But you didn't come over to hear me complain. What can I help you with today? A sweet roll? How do you know about... Yes, I received a sweet roll, just as my husband did before he disappeared. What interests are my troubles to you, I wonder? Really? Did Riemann hire you? How kind. Though why he cares now when he couldn't have been bothered after my husband vanished makes me curious as to his true intentions. Perhaps fate will take a different course. Certainly I didn't predict your involvement. I thought I did. Well, no. I don't know him that well. I mean, I know people like him, Liars and cheaters who use people and take advantage of their giving nature. So Riemann hired you to stop the murderer. I find that to be very interesting. My husband, he received one of those sweet rolls with the message inside, just like I did. The dire prediction frightened him, I can tell you that. He gathered weapons and locked himself in his study. But he still disappeared without a trace. No, not even a drop of blood to remember him by. But my husband was just one of a series of murders linked to this sweet roll killer. It's been going on for months and months, and now Riemann suddenly cares? I wonder why he's had a change of heart. No. The others who received the sweet rolls, I'm sure they need more help than me. I've got a house in Anvil. I can hide there until you catch the murderer. Just watch out for that Riemann. His own interests are more important to him than anything else.
Raz knew you would find us. It's not much, but it's private. The enchanter is an old friend. I helped her out once when an enchantment went bad. Made most of Raz's fur fall out. Very embarrassing. Still, now we get this comfy meeting place. Raz has seen these types of killings before. A victim receives a sweet roll that contains a prediction of impending doom, then is murdered a few days later. The murderer killed several of the Queen's advisors and then escaped. Made Raz look bad. So much doubt! Haven't you figured out that Raz is perfect yet? But yes, I fear we're dealing with the same monster. Luckily, my apprentice received a sweet roll. That means we can set a trap. There's just one problem. All right, probably more than one. But what concerns Raz is the network of messengers the killer is using to deliver his gifts. They've placed notes in the oddest locations. Raz fears these actions indicate the killer plans to strike, and soon. We'll locate a messenger and figure out what they've been placing around town. Maybe even get them to lead us right to the killer. Meet Raz outside and we'll track them together. What about her? Oh, Raz sees what you're getting at. She'll stay here and hopefully not wind up murdered. She's still in training, and we haven't gotten to the use of weapons yet. Last time I gave her a dagger, she almost put out her eye. Raz doesn't think that's such a good idea. But he will give the lady elf a little knife, just in case. Now, let's go track down a killer. Raz forgot how much he hates working out in the open. Raz saw one of the suspicious messengers near the hedge maze to the southwest. Why the city has a hedge maze is a mystery for another day.
Beloved Grand Sermonizer has been taken from us.
Pardon me, excuse me, coming through.
What a wonderful place to hide something. Look for a statue or something. Anything that could serve as a marker for a hiding place. A coded message. Raz hates riddles. You'll figure it out, yes?
It's all right to be angry. You faithful of Akatosh.
Just perhaps with a little
Our
less
beloved
zeal
Grand
until some of
Sermonizer
this
has been
blows
taken
over.
from us.
Only the finest merchandise.
These notes should lead us to whoever commissioned this research. There must be a clue. Read them again. According to the notes we found, every one of the targets is a guilty liar. Except for the reference to the handsome Khajiit, that observation was extremely astute. We still don't know who the messages were left for. Let's try to figure it out. Well, the scribbles at the bottom of each note appear to be instructions. Raz thinks that if we piece them all together, it will create a map of sorts. Well, not a literal map, though that would be handy. Well, the clues certainly allow us to exclude many parts of the city, and there aren't many roads besides the main one. Raz will continue to ponder these clues. Something is bound to occur to Raz eventually. Raz is a genius! Raz has figured out what the clues mean. It was right in front of Raz's nose the entire time. Still, all this thinking makes Raz's head hurt. Raz knows where we need to go. It was right in front of us this entire time. Do you want to know where the clues point to? Raz does not wish to spoil your fun if you'd rather solve the puzzle yourself. There is a small house to the south, near the Order of the Hour's Tower of Judgment. It's one of the only private buildings that's not along the main road. Clearly, the recipient of these notes must be hiding there. Raz can feel it in his whiskers.
You really shouldn't break into a house that someone has already broken into. Where's your sense of honor, Razandar?
Ah, of course. The beautiful darkness. Wait, is Naryu the sweet roll killer? Raz would be sad to have to kill you now.
Well, I am a killer, but I'm not the killer. And what's that one doing here? This has nothing to do with the Brotherhood.
Raz is confused. You better talk to Naryu so we can figure out what's going on here.
If you and your Brotherhood comrades sent me that sweet roll, I'm truly disappointed. I thought you'd realize by now that I don't take kindly to threats. Besides, it's hard enough to look good in tight leather without being tempted by tasty pastries. No one knew I was on the Gold Coast. No one except you. Suddenly, someone delivers a sweet roll with my name on it and a note predicting my untimely demise. It looks like you betrayed me. Give me a reason not to run you through. So you followed my messengers and found me instead? Ever since I received the threatening sweet roll, I've been looking into other targets, trying to figure out who knows me and why they want to kill me. Well, why they want to kill me this time. Everyone who received one of the menacing sweet rolls is traveling to Anvil for one reason or another. Seems to me, if the killer is smart, that's where he'll make his move. As a matter of fact, I'm headed there now. No one threatens me and lives. Just don't get in my way. I'm still trying to figure out your game in all this. But we've worked well together in the past. Might as well take advantage of that. I'll confer with Raz to make sure he and I see eye to eye, and we'll meet you in Anvil.
Raz thinks this place is too quiet. Good spot for an ambush, yes.
Oh, I certainly hope so. I could use a good fight right about now.
You send very mixed messages, Naryu. One moment you're flirting, the next you're stabbing. It's very confusing.
Well, that's only because you assume the two are different, Rosin dear.
Raz hates quiet in situations like this. Quiet never ends well. Raz just hopes the targets are still alive so we can rescue them. Tread carefully, Sharpclaw. Place was quiet and empty when we arrived. To be fair, we haven't checked any of the buildings yet. Raz wanted to wait for you. No one wants to miss their own party, yes? Whenever you're ready, we can start the search.
The threads of fate align! Kill them now!
Oh good, Raz has found them. From the sides!
too much blood. You've won. I know that. So sheathe your weapons and come inside. I knew you'd find me. The fates told me so. But the climax isn't certain. There are many paths before us. You don't know how much I despise that name. I am a fate bearer, one of the select few who can see what the future holds and then do something about it. Each of my targets has the potential to cause unmitigated disasters. I stop them. Good and evil has no bearing on my visions. It's their actions that concern me. Each causes a ripple that radiates through time until a disaster occurs. Economic collapse, the death of a prominent leader, a queen betrayed. I had to stop them. Her fate is the worst of all. Her daughter causes the world to burn, or she could. The future is a fluid thing. I have seen my escape and my death, both possible at this moment, and both championed by each of your allies. But the choice is yours. To save these people, of course. Let me walk out of here, and I'll provide the antidote for the poison now coursing through their blood. Or kill me and let them die. The choice is yours. Confer with your allies, then let me know what you decide.
I can't believe you're even considering this. Did you hear how crazy she sounded? Damn right you do. She's crazy as a cracked mud crab. All her talk about fate and the future, and what she said about me. I don't have a daughter. I hate children. It's never going to happen. Any way you look at it, Luna has to die. What about them? She's going to kill again, and she's going to come back for us. She thinks we're going to wreck the world. If we save a few now, how many more will she kill later? I say end her life and be done with it.
Raz heard the nonsense that spilled out of the killer's mouth. Why are we even considering bargaining with this crazy dark elf? Well, yes, there is that. Raz changed his mind. Bargaining should be considered. We have to do whatever we can to keep these people safe. Besides, we can always resume the hunt another day. No, not even a tiny bit. But Raz supposes that a chance to save innocents is better than no chance at all. Raz says, let her live.
Nayu is right, you know. The fate bearers will come for them. All of them. It's what we do. Still, while there's even the slimmest chance that you can save these people, can you risk not taking it? Can you? Then out with it. Don't leave us all in suspense. Which of the possible fates have you decided to favor with your decision? I accept your decision and will honor my word. I'll go with Razumdar and give him the antidote. That I can't promise. It's my burden to bear the dictates of fate, and that burden sends me where it will. But for now, we'll return to Vardenfell, to our shrine of the changing fates. Interesting. It appears we'll meet again there. I'll honor my word and show Razumdar where to find the antidote.
And Raz will let you leave this land. But next time, Raz thinks not so much.
I can't believe you people. How can you let a killer just walk away free and clear?
Raz cannot let innocents die. Is your heart really that cold, Naryu?
Don't worry, assassin. We'll meet again.
Let's meet back at the enchanter's shop when this sorry affair is done.
I thought you'd support me in this. Shows how much of the future picture I can see.
Raz is happy to report that the crazy dark elf kept her word. She provided the antidote, and we saved the targeted people. Raz could not have done it without your help, my friend. Yes, Raz does not like that either. The murders of the Queen's advisors remain unavenged. Still, Raz thinks we made the correct choice. But these fate-bearers, do they worry you as much as they worry me? Raz likes how you think. Now, the apprentice elf and I will return home and continue her training. This one wonders if Naryu and the others will ever be truly safe. Vardenfell sounds like a dangerous place that just got more deadly. Raz wishes you the best of luck, my friend. But Vardenfell is a bit out of my jurisdiction. If they show themselves in the Dominion, Raz will deal with them. But in Dark Elf lands, that's someone else's problem, yes?
I used to dream of this place when I was a young cutpurse. I thought, if I can make enough of myself, one day I can go there, hold my head high, order a drink like a normal person. It tastes the same as what we have in the den. Yes, he's the reason I needed a strong drink. According to Magnifica Falora, the Iron Wheel's prison ship encountered a storm and nearly capsized. The waves swept a dozen people over the side, Nicholas among them. Body lost to the storm, they said. Neither does Magnifica Falora. Here's a copy of his wanted poster. It's plastered all over Tanith. I want you to find out what really happened. If he's dead, we throw a party in the den. But if he's alive, you track him down and... do as you see fit. I'll back whatever decision you make. Someone called the Desert Falcon is looking for Nicholas as well. That's how this came to my attention. I want you to see what this Falcon knows. Last I heard, the Desert Falcon was in Greenshade, some tavern in Marbrook. See what you can learn. If any trails lead to Nicholas, follow them. I'll answer what I can. Someone who doesn't realize Desert Falcon is incredibly pompous. Nicholas made enemies over the years. Maybe it's one of them. But why look for him now and not after the dowry heist? Whoever it is, my hope is they're willing to work with you. I don't know how to answer that. We were friends for so many years. He meant so much to the Guild, to me. And then he betrayed us. He left us to the mercy of the Iron Wheel. Drowning at sea is too good for him. The Thieves' Guild doesn't murder. And yet, Nicholas was the cause of so much suffering. I shouldn't ask you to do that. In fact, I can't. But if you find him alive and leave him dead, I'll consider him the exception.
You are the last person I expected to see. Did you come to gloat? To tell me my search for Nicholas will end in failure? And how did you learn I was the Desert Falcon? I'm no longer Chief Inspector of anything. After your guild escaped Noshira Citadel, I had no choice but to resign from the Iron Wheel. The journal was a nice touch. I'd hoped it would seal the fate of Nicholas at his trial. But a storm did that. Allegedly. You don't get that from me. You couldn't follow simple instructions to put down a sparkling trinket. How can I possibly trust you? We thought Abba's landing was full of bandits. The merchant lords pointed us in your guild's direction. When I realized they used us to settle old debts, I withdrew the Iron Wheel to Noshira Citadel. You think me heartless? That I don't regret our methods? All right, you win again. Here, this key opens my strongbox. You're welcome to the contents. No, but I suspect he's in Grotwood. There's a snitch, goes by the name Bellalord Shatterbeak. Slippery fellow, local. He might know where Nicholas was heading. It's all in my notes. I'm not helping you. I'm ending my involvement. I'm done with his case. There's neither profit nor honor in its resolution.
Don't think I've seen you around. Or I could have. I was quite drunk yesterday. Hello again, for the first time. Are you working for that ram's beak, Falcon Wings fellow? Heard he wanted the same thing. Also heard he was a guard. He sent you then? Fine. Tell him my price. Pay my tab at every tavern in the city. Bounty hunter. I can always spot the type. Think they can squeeze people like us. I met your friend at a tavern. Briefly, you understand. But I remember enough to send you to him. First thing, he didn't go by Nicholas. Can't recall his name. Something equally forgettable. But I do remember his high elf companion. A widow she was. My darling Volu, he called her. They were returning to her home. A pleasant little manor outside of Haven, I believe. In Grotwood. I can't remember anything else. The drink, you see. But they were to be married as soon as they returned. Oh, she'd fallen for him. I could see that. He was some sort of painter? The canvas kind, not tavern placards. He brought some kind of joy to her life. Would have been lovely, but I passed out on the table.
I don't often receive visitors in my garden, especially the uninvited ones. Vantis? Whatever for? And who are you exactly? He struggles enough finding his muse. Distracting him with financial matters will disturb his concentration. I must ask you to leave. I will inform Vantis you stopped by.
My darling Volu! Is that you in the kitchen? My muse has left me. Perhaps kisses would restore it. You are not who I expected to see. I knew my time here wouldn't last. I hoped it would take longer, though. Zero wanted to make sure I was truly dead, yes? I taught her too well. What business? The man you knew as Nicholas truly died in that storm. I am a changed man, a married man. I live quietly in this house, painting things that my wife adores. I retired. Ask. I'll tell you everything you want to know. No more secrets. None of them matter anymore. I wanted more. Alone, Abba's landing is a meager prize. But if I could find a way to bring in Tanith, with a stake in both cities, you control all trade in Hughes Bay. But I hadn't. Velsa should have joined me at Maluk's path. After my death, she would lead the others back to Abba's landing. Zira could scatter the guild before the Iron Wheel's arrival. But then Velsa retired and everything changed. Of course not. But had all gone according to plan, Zira could have filtered the guild into Tanith, set up there while the Iron Wheel was chasing them here. And when I was Magnifica Falora's puppet in Abba's landing, Zira would be mine in Tanith. Very well. We both know my part in what happened to the Thieves' Guild. I won't beg for my life, If that's what you're expecting. If that's what Zero wants from me.
No! Not like this.
What was that noise? What's going on in here? Vantis? No! How could you do this? My dear husband. Oh, Vantis! Come back to me, my love! Come back to me!
Well, did Nicholas survive the storm? What happened? Is he... I see. I hate him for what he did. But it still feels like I've lost a family member. That's why I asked you to go. You had no history. You could see him for what he was. You helped restore the Thieves Guild, make it more than it once was. Of course, I trust your judgment. Now all the old business is put to rest. Let's go. We have a guild to run.